Okay, we've talked about indexing and how we can determine the length of a sequence, in our case a string, using the len function. Now let's see other operations on strings. First, one more thing about indexes. You can find out the index of a character in a given string by using the index function. Just remember that this function returns only the first occurrence of that particular character. So let's create a variable a and assign it the string Cisco switch. So Cisco switch. Okay, you can see that the letter I appears two times in this string, 1 and 2. So let's find out the index of the first I in this string. A.index of I. So the name of the variable associated with the string, a dot, and then index and I in between parentheses and in between double quotes. Okay, this returns 1 as being the index of the first occurrence of I in the string, which is correct since it is the second letter in that string. Another thing is that you can easily find out how many times does a character appear in a string, or generally speaking, an element within a sequence, by using the count function. The syntax is similar to the index function. You just type the name of the variable, a, then a dot, and then count. Open and close parentheses, and the letter you want to count in between quotes. So, a.count of I returns 2. So we have I 2 times inside our string, which is correct as well. Another string method is the find method. This method simply searches for a sequence of characters inside the string, and if it finds a match, then it returns the index where that sequence begins. So let's see that. Let's do a.find, of, let's say, SCO. Okay, we have a match starting at index 2, which is correct, 0, 1, and S is at index 2. If Python does not find a match, then it will return -1. So let's search for string, let's say, XYZ inside A, and we see -1 return because we don't have XYZ within A, obviously. Okay, let's see, what else? We can turn a string to lowercase or uppercase by using the lower and upper methods. So, returning to our string, let's do a.lower. Now we can see our string in lowercase only. And also let's do a.upper. Now all letters are in uppercase. Okay, notice one thing here. Although we applied the lower and upper methods on this string, a is the same string. This is a great proof that strings are indeed immutable. You can also verify that a string starts or ends with a particular character. We have two methods for this. They are called starts with and ends with. Let's see them in action. So, a.starts with, and let's say capital C, returns true. That's because it is true. Then a.ends with, let's say age, also returns true on the same logic. On the other hand, let's try a.ends with, let's try q. This returns false because our string ends in age, not q. Three important methods which you should keep in mind because we will use them a lot are the strip, split, and join methods. Let's see them one by one. First, strip eliminates all white spaces from the start and from the end of a string. So let's say we have another string with 3 spaces before Cisco and after switch. So let's say B equals space, 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 Cisco switch, and space, space, space again. Okay. Now let's apply the strip method on it and see the results. So b.strip returns Cisco switch without the spaces at the beginning and at the end of the string. That's nice. Now consider that instead of the 3 spaces on each side, we had 3 dollar signs we want to remove. So from a string that looks like this, C equals 3 dollar signs, Cisco switch, and 3 dollar signs again. So this is C. From this string, we want to eliminate the leading and trailing dollar signs. In this case, we must specify the character we want to remove in the strip method. So c.strip, and let's input the dollar sign, returns a nice and clean string. Okay, great. But what if we want all spaces removed from the string, including those inside the string? Then we would use the replace method, like this. So let's return to b, which has spaces at the beginning, inside, and at the end of the string. You can use replace like this to get the string clean, b.replace, and let me type this. So this would be a space character. We have a comma, and the second argument would be an empty string. Okay, so you are replacing every space character in the string with actually nothing. So let's try it. Okay, great, it works. So great job again. Now let's look at the split method. As the name implies, this method splits a string into substrings. Furthermore, you can specify a delimiter for splitting. The result of this method is a list. We will learn more about lists in a few lectures. So let's see this method in action. Let's say we have the string d like this. Let's say Cisco Avaya Nortel HP Juniper, and that's it. Okay, let's see d. Okay, the networking providers in this string are delimited by commas. What if we want to extract each provider from the string in a nice format? Well, in this case, the split method saves the day. Let's do a d.split, and in between parentheses, let's specify the delimiter we want to split by. So, in our case, the comma. Okay. Python returns a list made of each provider from the string. Now, each provider is an element of this list and can be further used into an application. You can split by any delimiter you have in a string and get a list of elements that were separated by that delimiter. Finally, we have the join method. Let's remember string A, Cisco switch. What if we want to insert a character in between every two characters of this string? So we want to change this string to something like C underscore I underscore S underscore and so on. Then we will have to use the join method in the following way. And this is a bit different than the syntax for the previous methods. First, you type the character you want to use as a separator, enclosed by double quotes, so this would be the underscore in our case. Then you type a dot, then join, and in between parentheses, you can specify the variable which holds the string you want to refer to. So, in our case, it is A. This could be read like this. Use the underscore character or separator to join the elements of string A. Now let's see the result. The result is correct. We got just what we wanted. Next, we will have a look at some string operators and string formatting.